Good afternoon, grade 12s. Welcome to our business studies class. We are still looking at our quality of performance. For those who are just joining us, welcome to our 8th lesson. I'm Hector S. Ngosi. All right. Now, grade 12s, yesterday we looked at quality and we also looked at your total quality management, right? So we've been looking at quality for the past few days. And today we'll try by all means to finish off this topic. If we did not finish off this chapter, we're actually going to finish off by Monday. So I just want us to recap from yesterday because before we can start today's work, just need my highlighter. Okay, I need a different color. So basically, we know that here we've got functions or quality functions. Quality indicators. Now, it is very important for you to understand what? To understand the functions that you must put in place in order to have quality. So we've dealt with different functions. We looked at marketing function, product function, your HR function in order to make your business to be a success. Then yesterday we touched a little bit on total quality management and its elements, but we're still going to look at its characteristics and advantages and disadvantages today. Right, need to go to my screen. Right. So for today, I want us to look at these. So yesterday we looked at your total quality elements and we spoke about, okay, I need a different color. I need green, right? With your total quality management elements, we spoke about continuous improvement to process and system. We spoke about the continuous skills development or education and training. We spoke about also the total client and your customer satisfaction. So in order for your total management to work, these are the elements that needs to have, right? So that's what we looked at yesterday. Today, I want us to start with the impact of total quality management elements in a large business. So basically, yesterday we looked at your total quality management just in a nutshell. But now, on a large business, we want to see how our total quality management is going to look. Firstly, we're going to look at the impact of continuous improvement to processes and systems on a large business. Let's look at the positives about these improvements or the advantages, right? Positive means good things, advantages also good things about this improvement. Large businesses have more resources to check on quality performance in each unit. We know, guys, sometimes when you go to like large businesses, they've got more resources to check the quality. So that's a good thing of having a continuous improvement to process the systems on large businesses, because the bigger business you have, the more resources you need, basically. For example, I'm just going to make an example. If you were to go to Makro, Makro is one of the biggest stores, you know, where majority of the retailers go stock there, basically, right? So basically, they've got large resources. They've got all your conveyor belts because they sell in bulk. So their resources are too many and large. Whereas when you go to a small store, like a small retail store, basically where they sell small things on a single items, you might find out in that store, the resources are going to be smaller. Also, there's enough capital resources are available for new equipment required for processes and systems. Very important. This one, we do have enough It was from my side. Sorry. The large businesses also, guys, have a person dedicated to improve, to the improvement of processes and systems, right? That's also important point. Also, the good thing about having a large businesses, guys, they are willing to take risk on trying new processes and systems because they are able to absorb the impact of losing money, right? So very important, willing to take risk, right? They are willing to take risk on new processes and systems, right? Because they are able to absorb the impact of losing money. Because, you know, guys, with your large businesses, basically, they don't mind, even if they say to you, there's a new product that is being introduced. The large businesses, they always take risk. They're going to sell it first. Does it make sense? Even if um, it's not gonna, that product, it's not gonna last, but they're going to sell it because they've got enough money, you know, to try new things, you know. So, and they're not afraid to lose money also. Also, when you look at the impact of continuous improvement to process and systems on a large business, we also find out that they can afford to use service of the quality cycles to stay ahead of their competitors, right? Very important, right? So the services of quality cycles to stay ahead of their competitors, very important point, right? Then let's look at the disadvantages or negatives when it comes to large businesses. So basically the negatives about large businesses is that, boys and girls, large scale manufacturing can complicate the quality control. So the bigger business it is the more that we need a bigger control, a quality bigger control. Because I'm telling you guys right now, in a large businesses, when you go, it's easy for them it's easy for other people to steal in those large businesses because they've got maybe the store, it's too big in such a way that you don't even know your other colleagues of yours, right? So it's very important, guys, to, as much as your business is large, try to at least divide maybe your businesses in branches, you know, where at least it can be manageable and it will give people quality control. Also, the systems and processes take time and effort to implement in large businesses, as communication or buy-in may delay the process, right? So if you want to implement certain things in your new business, in a large business, it might take time, right? And it needs effort because now large businesses, guys, it has too much admin. Sometimes when you go to a store, basically those big store, for example, like your Makro, you know, those are large businesses, you know. If they want to implement new things, it's just going to take them time. Like for instance, now we're facing with Corona. We know that we need to be sanitized when every time when we're entering the store or wherever we go. But I'm telling you right now, sometimes when you place systems or quality controls to these large businesses, it might take time and it can be difficult because now you're dealing with so many people at the same time. Also, the risk of changing parts of the business that are actually working well, right? So the bad thing about large business also, there's sometimes the risk of changing parts of the business that are actually working well, basically, right? The last point on the negatives for the large businesses is that not all negative feedback from employees and customers is going to be accurate, right? Very, very important, this point, right? Not all negative feedback from employees and customers is going to be accurate, right? Which may result in incorrect or unnecessary changes to the system and processes. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, the information for the large businesses is not always accurate because it's just difficult to deal with so many things at once. Whereas the information that you get in your small businesses, it's always accurate because it's the systems there are manageable, to get my point. Right. Let's also look on the impact of continuous skills development or education and training on large businesses. Now we're looking at what? We're looking at continuous skills development or education and training. Remember, guys, even me as a teacher right now, I'm still trained. I still go for training, basically. I'm still studying and stuff, because even in the business, guys, in order for you, for your business to continue or to grow in the future, you need to align yourself with what is it's going on. I mean to say, in our country, when are they developing new products, and stuff like that. So you need to learn and train yourself, because even now we're living in the 21st century, guys. Things keeps on changing now and then, right? So the good things about doing the continuous skills development and education and training is that large business have a human resource department dedicated to skills and training. We know that, guys, in each and every business or organization, we do have an HR department, right? The HR department, remember, number one, it helps you. It tells you when there's a training that will benefit you or that will equip you, right, for your job. Also, the HR department helps us with our salaries. They're the ones who are placing us if we're looking for jobs and stuff. Also, human resources experts ensure that training programs are relevant to increase customer satisfaction. So these trainings that you are attending, even me as a teacher, I still attend trainings. I still go for trainings on how to teach, new topics that are introduced, how to approach a certain topic on a certain chapter and stuff like that for a specific subject. So it's very important to also understand that. The ability to afford specialized or skilled employees. Remember, the more you go to these continuous skills training, is the more you're going to afford to have your skilled employees, basically. Very, very important, right? That's very. Having the, I don't know why my speaker, I don't know why my speaker is acting up, but yeah, I'm back now, guys, sorry. Okay. So we are still looking at the positives, advantages when it comes to continuous skills development or education and training. Sorry, in my cursor now. All right. The large businesses could conduct skills audits to establish the competency, education levels of staff performing work, which could affect the quality of products or processes positively, basically, right? So very, very, very important point, guys, right? So now what we need to do, just need to highlight this. I need my highlighter. Okay. Okay. I just need to take my highlighter. Okay. Now, very important point, guys. So businesses could conduct audits to establish competency, right? Education levels of a staff performing work, which could affect the quality of products. Now, let's make a practical example when it comes to this bullet point. Let's say now I'm a teacher, I work for STEAM Digital School, and now how are they going to make sure that I keep myself updated with what is happening currently in the world? Do I attend trainings? What levels of education do I have? So STEAM Digital School must require staff from me maybe once a year, just to check where I am in terms uh, of my career. Sometimes we advanced ourselves, we go for trainings, we get certificates. You must include those in your CVs. You advanced yourself by studying further, doing your honors, your masters, and so forth. So even the large businesses must conduct the audits. Audits, when you do audit, you're actually checking, you're verifying whether things are being done correctly or not. So if you are competent enough, which means your audit must be good, basically. Therefore, you'll be regarded as someone who's competent. And that's how businesses, they can see how their staff are going to perform, because the more competent you are is the more quality you're going to produce. Another point on the good things about the continuous skills development or education training, it may be able to hire qualified trainers to train employees on a regular basis. So that's a nice thing also, because we can always hire qualified trainers to train employees on a regular basis based on what they have. Let's look at the bad things when it comes to your continuous training. What are the negative things about continuous training and education? Poor communication system in large businesses may prevent effective training from taking place. Very, very important. We know because in a large business, there is a poor communication, guys. Because let me explain to you. In a large business, guys, you can't just jump your supervisor, your manager, your head of department for that department, the deputy boss. Before the deputy boss, there is another person that you need to report at. So it's more of like a big diagram before you can reach at the top management level, So the poor communication systems in a large business may prevent effective training from taking place. So guys, if you did not get the information on time, you might end up not going to that training, basically. You might end up not getting that training because of now what you did, the information to you did not come, or it came at a wrong time or late, right? So we need to make sure, guys, that the information that is being transmitted to us, we get it on time. But in a small business, because we've got small people, the information is going to arrive on time. But in large businesses, guys, it's very rare that the information arrives in time, unless it's an emergency thing where everyone has to do it. Do you get my point? Then now, let's look about negative things about the continuous skills training. The trained employees may leave for better job after they gained more skills. Very important, guys. That's what happens. Some people, they get jobs, and when they are comfortable and they've learned a lot of things, they leave. I mean, guys, that's a given one, and it's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing also, but it is a disadvantage in terms of, because now you have equipped that person, the company has spent their own money for you to go for trainings, for you to know your work very better and stuff like that. So the bad thing, the sad part about it, this training thing, is that the company might spend thousands and thousands on you to be the best engineer ever, to be the best accountant ever, to be the best entrepreneurship ever, to be the best broker ever, So the company might spend money, then afterwards, maybe you stay for the company for 2 years or 3 years, then afterwards people leave for better jobs where they get paid more, right? Also, this thing of training demotivates employees if they do not receive recognition for training. No wonder now, guys, majority of the trainings now, even us as teachers, they do give us recognitions afterwards in terms of a certificate, in terms of a medal, so that you can put that in your CV basically and say, I've done a training for this, I've done the training for that. Other trainings, guys, I'm telling you, you just go for a training, you don't even get what? The recognition certificate. And sometimes it demotivates you because you ask yourself, why should I have to do this thing? Because it's not going to help me. Yes, it's going to help me internally because I'm learning. But if someone else can ask me whether can I do something like this, I can say yes. But how is that person going to help me if I don't have a proof to say, yes, I'm being trained for this and I know what I'm doing. So sometimes it might demotivate employees if they are not getting anything as part of the recognition. Employees who specialize in a narrowly defined jobs may become frustrated or demotivated. We know, guys, some employees, they work or they're being exposed or they specialize in the narrowly defined jobs. So sometimes they can be frustrated to do that, because of they specialize in narrowly defined jobs. Employees may not be aware of the level of competency they should meet in order to achieve their targets. So if you're not aware of what level of competency, that's another disadvantage. Some employees, they don't even know that, okay, like me, I'm a teacher, my level of, I need to be competent. I need to make sure that my kids, they write assessments. I need to make sure that I mark those assessments. I need to make sure that I capture the marks. I do the feedback sessions with my kids also. So that this thing is the indication of competency. So some of the employees might not be aware of what they have to do basically. Therefore, they'll be regarded as not competent people basically. Also, boys and girls, it may be difficult to monitor or to evaluate the effectiveness of training. Sometimes, guys, it's difficult to monitor or evaluate the effectiveness of training because I'm telling you right now, majority of the employees, guys, already those are your parents basically. Now they are working, some of them they are mothers of the house, some of them are fathers of the family, and some of them, they just have so many things, where sometimes they even skip trainings, they don't even go for trainings. And now what has the company did? The company has paid the training people to train their employees, but other employees, they don't even pitch, so it may be difficult to monitor, evaluate the effectiveness of training because now, I mean, we are adults, and sometimes we do face unforeseen circumstances where we can't even attend the training or even going to work on its own, So that's another valid reason, basically, boys and girls. Now, let's look at the impact of total clients or customer satisfaction on a large business. Now, we have touched on continuous improvement. We have also looked on continuous skills development or education training. Now, I want us to look at the impact on total client or clientele or customer satisfaction, right? So what are the good things if our customer satisfaction is good? So what are the nice things about that? We know that large businesses uses market research or customer surveys to measure or monitor customer satisfaction or analyze customers' needs, right? And remember, guys, if another good thing about the customer satisfaction is that now, if basically we really satisfying our customers, we are also doing what? We are also promoting a good image for our business, basically. As you see, bullet number 2 says, continuously promote a positive company image, right? Very, very important, because the more we could look good, guys, is the more our image is going to also look good, right? Like for instance, now, let's say you are under digital school, you're doing the STEAM digital school online learning, and the customer satisfaction, even though we are an NPO organization, meaning our non-profit organization, we're not like you guys don't pay any school fees. Everything is just for free. So it's just NPO organization. So basically, what I'm trying to say, should STEAM Digital School produce good results? Should STEAM Digital School make sure that the learners all pass? Everyone who tune in for these videos, they pass at the end of the year. Therefore, can you see automatically the image of the company, the image of STEAM Digital School, it's going to look good. Also, boys and girls, we know that your customer satisfaction may achieve a state of local customer satisfaction if the business follow sound business practice that incorporate all stakeholders. Also important, this point, guys. Please make sure that you understand it and you are fine. Another thing that you need to look at, guys, you must always strive to understand and fulfill customer expectations by aligning costs, functional teams across critical processes. Also, you must ensure that cross-functional teams understand it is core competence and strengthen it, right? May lead to a higher customer retention or loyalty, and businesses may be able to charge higher prices, right? Also, guys, about the total client customer satisfaction, you need to know that large businesses may be able to gain access to the global market. The last bullet, it may lead to increased competitive or responsibilities. Okay. All right, boys and girls. I don't want to start negatives today. However, I'm going to still cover the negatives by probably tomorrow. Not tomorrow, tomorrow is a Saturday, guys. By maybe on Monday, I want to finish off this chapter. Then I'll just start from the negatives. Negatives of what? Just hang on. The negatives of not the continuous skills, because we are done with the continuous skills. The negatives of total client or customer satisfaction. All right, boys and girls, from my side, I say thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in, grade 12s. Please try by all means to push. You are almost, the year is almost done. We believe in you so much, guys. Please try to study hard. We are always here for you guys. Should you have any business related questions, please feel free to email me at ngosihector28@gmail.com. I'm more than welcome to answer your email addresses. From my side, I say thank you so much and have a lovely evening and a great weekend. Goodbye.